Hello! Yet again, it has been a couple of weeks since I last posted a YouTube video. I've been very much so slacking with anything like art and social media related lately, but it's been kind of nice at the same time because I've been really extending deadlines for myself, and I definitely don't need to meet them by any means, but I've just wanted to meet them in the past, and just giving myself more like mental wiggle room when it comes to doing anything on social media because I haven't super wanted to, so I'm not forcing myself to do it because I don't want to get into that weird stage of burnout with things where you force yourself to do it for a while and then you really don't like doing it. So YouTube videos might be a little bit sporadically posted for now. I still would like to post a video at least every other week, but I'm not holding myself to it too much and not letting myself feel guilty if I go a week without posting a video, because that's something I really struggled with. Is I would feel so immensely bad if I missed posting for a week, because for the longest time there I was posting a video every single week. I kept that up for like years. And now we're just kind of posting a video whenever I feel like it. And it's very nice because by no means is like YouTube my primary source of income. In fact, the rate at which I've been posting and the algorithm has just not been favoring me for a while, and that kind of also led to me not wanting to make videos as frequently. So it's just kind of nice to take a little break from that because, I don't know, I don't want to get myself in, like I said, a weird burnout position where I really am not having a good time doing it. So I'm just kind of in the position where I'll make a video when I feel like making a video. But for the time being, I have been playing so many video games. I've been playing so many video games. I went from like binging Genshin Impact to Animal Crossing update came out, so I restarted my Animal Crossing island and I had so much fun with that. And then the Diamond and Pearl remakes came out, so I was playing those. And then last month, Legends Arceus came out. I know it's technically pronounced Arceus, but I refuse to say Arceus because it sounds way stupid, so I say Arceus. It's wrong, but man, does it sound way less stupid. But that game came out, and oh my god. So Pokemon has been something that's been part of my life since I was a child. My brother was into it, and that got me into it, and for me, it has stuck throughout my entire life. I've really enjoyed the games, like the series, everything about it. Legends Arceus is such a good game. It is so fun. It is without a doubt the most fun I've ever had playing a Pokemon game. It's so good, and it's really nice that it's in the Sinnoh region, which is my favorite region. It's mainly centered around the 4th generation of Pokemon, which is my favorite generation, so I've been having so much fun playing that game. It's just really nice and really cool having more of like an open world Pokemon game. If you've never played any Pokemon games, I highly recommend it as a starting one. I feel like it's a really good mix of an open world game like Breath of the Wild mixed with Pokemon. And with the more recent Pokemon games, something that I really appreciate that they've been doing, but I know a lot of people have beef with, is they haven't been doing the National Pokedex in the games, which means they don't have every single available Pokemon in the games. And a lot of people had beef with this for various reasons. I personally don't care at all. Honestly, I think it's so much better having a select group of the available Pokemon in a game because, like, currently, there's almost 900 different Pokemon, and for me personally, I haven't really kept track of much of them beyond Gen 5, and I think there's like 6 or 7 generations right now. So like, as someone who has never played a Pokemon game and has like never gotten into it, it's immensely overwhelming to approach a game and be like, oh yeah, there's like 800 plus different Pokemon. I'm never going to remember the names of every single one of them. So I really appreciate that the most recent games have not been doing the National Dex and just having like a select number of Pokemon, because it's less overwhelming for me, even as a person who knows most of them or is familiar with most of them. But I couldn't imagine how overwhelming that must be to people who are not familiar with the series, like in any way, shape, and form, because it makes it so much harder to pick up the game and get interested in it. Like, I remember when I was probably like 12-ish, I got a Digimon game for the DS, and there are so many Digimon. I have no idea how many are out there, but I know I am so immensely unfamiliar with them just because there's just so much, and it's kind of overwhelming. Like, yes, I will see them and be like, wow, these ones are cute, so I'll remember their names, but for the most part, I don't know what any of these guys are called. It's still a fun game and stuff, but like, in a sense, it's a little overwhelming not having like any familiarity with the characters or like knowing their names. And especially with Pokemon, it's like it's really beneficial when you're playing the games to know like the types of the characters and like know information about individual Pokemon to succeed in the game. You don't really have to do that for the most recent ones because honestly, like for the past probably like 3 or 4 years, the Pokemon games that have been coming out have been like super easy mode, like really easy to beat the games. There's like barely any grinding, there's like nothing like that. And I'm not complaining because to me, this is a wonderful thing. I like playing easy games. I don't like games where it's hard at all. I really want to play easy games. I want them to baby me. Like, I don't want to have to grind. I don't want to have to struggle. I don't want to have to do like boss battles over and over and over again because I get frustrated and then I get sad and then it's just like, I don't handle hard video games well at all for like any genre of video game. I like things to be immensely easy. I know some people have a completely opposite opinion and that's extremely valid. I know some people enjoy playing hard games and like I get it. But like for me, when I'm playing video games, I'm playing them to relax and have a good time. So for me, that's on like super easy baby mode when it comes to video games. And I am very satisfied that the Pokemon games that have come out that I've played in the past couple of years have been super easy baby mode because that is exactly what I desire. But yes, moral of the story, if you have never played a Pokemon game, I highly recommend starting off with Legends Arceus. It's so fun and it's so different from the mainline games. I really hope they end up making more in the series of Legends where they have like open worlds and it's based off of a certain region and a certain generation of Pokemon that it's primarily centered around because it's just such a cool game. And I know like I always see so much negativity towards Nintendo games specifically that are from like the big headliner titles like Animal Crossing, Breath of the Wild, all the Pokemon games. I always end up seeing so much hate for them because like not necessarily towards the game itself, but just so many people who are complaining about like every little thing they could possibly complain about. Like Animal Crossing was such a big one for me because the most recent Animal Crossing game, New Horizons, I think is absolutely wonderful. They recently did a 2.0 update that added so much to the game, but before they did that, and even after they did it, so many people were complaining about like how they should have released so much more content when the game first dropped. They shouldn't have released it when they did because it seemed really rushed. It was missing so many features that the previous games had. And then like people were upset that they were doing seasonal updates to add the holidays in versus just having them from the beginning in case you time traveled. You'd want to like get the events done versus having to wait until the season actually came around in real time. And like, I don't know, Animal Crossing was one that I just constantly saw people complaining about. And personally, for me, like, yes, I might have like the smallest amount of beef with something, but like, I don't know, I'm not gonna go complain on the internet about it. I'm not gonna make a huge deal about it because you know what? It's a video game. You know, it's not that big of a deal. Like with Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, when they announced that, for years and years and years, everyone's been asking for a Sinnoh remake, which is the generation that Diamond and Pearl are, and same, because Diamond was my first game, my first Pokemon game, absolutely loved it. Absolutely amazing. It means so much to me. And so like we've all been waiting for a remake for a really long time. And when they announced the Diamond and Pearl remakes in the Nintendo Direct and it was like super baby mode, because if you haven't seen the graphics of Diamond and Pearl, it's really baby mode. It's really bad. And they just made the original game basically have 3D models in like the super chibi style. I hate it. It's ugly, but like I don't care. Like, I'm still gonna play the game. I still played the game. I still really enjoyed the game. Like, yeah, it's ugly, but the amount at which people complained on the internet about how they hate it and, like, it's just a port to the Switch, which technically it wasn't, but, like, it's just a copy remake. I don't know. Listen, my main point is people go off on Nintendo, and they might go off on like other companies like PlayStation and Xbox, but like let's be real, most of the games that I end up playing are Nintendo games, and I just see so much unwarranted and like I don't know, so many people being big babies on the internet when it comes to games. Like for Legends Arceus, for example, I've heard so many people complaining about like the graphics and little things that they don't like about it, and I'm just like, guys, you should shut up because like this is the best Pokemon game I've ever played and I have played dozens of them. Anyways, long story short, I find it so unbelievably annoying to peruse on Facebook, especially because Facebook comments are really where people go hog wild and like scream about every little thing that is bothering them. So every time Nintendo posts stuff about a game, I see the comment section and my brain just automatically clicks it. Like, I know it's gonna be bad. I know I'm gonna get annoyed when I see it. But God, do I click on the comments way more than I should. And it's just people complaining. They're going like, boo-hoo, poor me. I don't get every single thing I could possibly want from Nintendo, and I'm gonna complain about it until the end of time. It's just very annoying for me to see. I'm very annoyed by the people constantly complaining about video games. Like, I get it if there's a feature you don't like, but I feel like people are so not understanding that, like, you can't get every little thing that you could possibly want. I don't know if anyone feels the same way. This is definitely not the tangent I intended to go on this video, but here we are. We definitely went on that tangent. Moral of the story. Legends Arceus is an amazing game. I think everyone should give it a try if you're interested in it because it's so much fun. I've been playing so much of it. It's such a good game and I really enjoy it. It's very cool having an open world Pokemon game. As far as the actual artwork I'm working on in this video, I just kind of wanted to fill out some spreads with my Maserati sketchbook because I am desperately trying to finish the sketchbook. I've made a lot of comments about it in the past of how I don't like it, and that still remains true. I'll definitely give a more like detailed update on this sketchbook when I finish it in my actual sketchbook tour video, but for the time being, I'm really just trying to finish this sketchbook, that way I can move on to other ones, because right now I am working on multiple sketchbooks at once, but I just want to get this one out of the way and get it finished so that way I can start a different size sketchbook to add to my little rotation of current sketchbooks that I'm working on. So I'm gonna try and blast through this one. But the day I was recording specifically, I actually was having a really hard time making art. Everything was just kind of turning out bad. I didn't necessarily have art block, but I just feel like I had a really bad momentum with making art and it just wasn't working out super great. I didn't have the best ideas, and then the ones that I did have, I feel like they were orchestrated pretty poorly. So this was definitely a day that really was a heavy, like, I'm not satisfied with the art I'm making and that's okay kind of day, because social media is really hard for making art that you don't like and art that you consider not to be good, which is completely normal because obviously you want to share what's your best work on social media, but I feel like there comes a point in time where it's completely normal to share bad artwork, and you should share bad artwork and normalize the idea of like, hey, not everything you make is going to turn out really good, and not everything you make is going to turn out to meet your expectations of what you want to be making and want to be sharing. And I think YouTube is a platform that makes it really easy to share bad art. Not everyone does it. Most people don't do it, I feel like. But I think it is really important to share the artwork you don't like, just to normalize the whole concept of making bad art. And making bad art is okay and normal, and it's completely fine. And you, especially in a sketchbook, can just flip the page and keep going with artwork, because I was really dissatisfied with the Zhao piece I did, which was on like the right half of the first spread, and then everything I did on the left half of the second spread. I just wasn't really a fan of it. I wasn't even a fan of like the first drawings I did. The only thing that I actually ended up liking was the last page I did. I came back to this sketchbook spread the following day, and in that time frame of like not drawing, I had watched Lee Ellickson's most recent sketchbook tour, and it gave me so much inspiration, and I really wanted to do just like a really basic landscape drawing, essentially, like super bare bones. I didn't expect it to turn out good. I just kind of wanted to do something that was less focused on characters and more focused on somewhat abstract and just very unrefined, like messy kind of illustration. So I pulled out my Arteza alcohol markers and I just went in with alcohol markers, which is so much fun to do. It's also like the only medium that works well in this sketchbook, so I really should focus more on using alcohol markers because nothing else works in this sketchbook, and that definitely did not help with the whole like I'm not happy with art I'm making situation, because the art supplies I was using weren't really agreeing with me. So I'm very glad I went in with alcohol markers and did this piece to also kind of end this little sketchbook session on a better note of my preference towards my artwork, because I definitely finished off with something that I was happy with. It's definitely not my favorite piece. I've actually never really done anything like this piece, so it was just fun to kind of experiment with something different, which is the intention of sketchbooks, is just to play around and make art, whether or not it's good or bad. And it's totally normal to make art that you don't like. And at the end of the day, if you really, really hate it, you can cover it with something else. I straight up used a sticky note to cover the face of one of the characters I drew because I was so unhappy with it, and I just wanted to kind of redo it. So I did that. If it's something you're mildly unhappy with, like I was with that Zhao piece, you can just flip the page. Or if you're really crazy, which I don't mean in a derogatory way, but if you're really feeling crazy, you can just rip out a page in your sketchbook that you don't like. It's fine. It's totally normal. It's okay. If it makes you unhappy, you can rip it out. But also, normalize making bad art, because it is completely normal and it's okay. And thankfully, as far as the sketchbook goes, I only have like 9 more pages left, so pretty soon here I'll actually have a sketchbook tour for the first time in so long, because one, I haven't really been drawing a ton lately, and by lately I mean like for the past like 6 months to a year probably, but especially in the past like 6 months I have not been drawing nearly as much as I normally do. And on top of that, I've been working in several sketchbooks at a time, which I've mentioned before is something that I'm really not accustomed to doing. I normally work in one individual sketchbook at a time and just go from there, but recently I've been using many and it's been really nice, but I just haven't been finishing sketchbooks as fast. But sketchbook tour for this one should be coming in the relatively soon future, so that's exciting. Thank you guys so much for keeping up with me regardless of my very inconsistent posting schedule, especially with Instagram. Oh my gosh, I've been just really bad with social media lately. But thank you for keeping up with me regardless, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.